Thokozani, I am Pobadimu and I welcome you to my channel. Thank you so much for choosing to view my video. And if you still haven't subscribed, I suggest you do so. Please subscribe after watching this video. Don't forget to like and also leave your comment down below. I really appreciate it. And before we get into today's topic, I'd firstly like to apologize to some of my subscribers. I've been getting your email saying that at least when I try to elaborate on my videos or the content I put out, I should be considerate and add a little more English than any of my vernacular language. And the explanation around that is very simple because sometimes when I'm expressing myself and maybe I am not aware, but as you can tell that I express myself in many languages, on more than one. So it's something that is beyond my control, but I will definitely just keep my guard up so that I don't lose you a bit and not, to dilute too much of the content, because some other things are especially when it comes to things of the spirit, especially when it relates to my ancestors, it's more relatable to a language they can easily identify. So yeah, instead of that, probably I'll try to have subtitles up so that at least you feel accommodated when I am sharing on important information, or rather the content you've subscribed for. But thank you so much for the feedback. So moving on to today's topic, we are going to be talking about intentions. That is the title of this video, intentions. So intention is often a loosely used word because we do things, but we think. But when it comes to izinto zedlozi, intention is important, because the reason we always find ourselves stuck in one place because we do things from a place sometimes of being told, from a place of thinking things are going to be better. But I always say, what is the intention that you're doing something? No, why are you doing this? What is the intention? For example, something minimal like ukulite the candlela, perhaps you're using a blue candle, using a white candle, or whatever the case. What is the intention behind that? Why are you doing that? Because intention is important because it brings sense to the purpose of the journey. Intention is important because it brings sense to the purpose of the journey. Because now, if there's no intention behind anything you're doing, you always feel lost and you'll always feel stuck, and you'll always feel as if everything that you are doing is not making sense, or rather this road of spirituality is frustrating. Why today you are gifted, or whatever the case might be, and you're being told, okay, fine, you have a spiritual gift that you need to answer to, and uhambe uyotwasa. What is the intention you going uyotwasa lapho? Is it something that is in you? Because in everything that we do, we always paint amadlozi to be some terrible monsters that always afflict these bad things to us whenever we don't want to listen. Whereas if it is not moving with you, or you don't do it intentionally, or moving with your spirit, in the end kuzofila as though it is a task or something that is of burden. We are in a spiritual age, and spirituality is freedom. And when it comes to izinto zedlozi, I don't want people to feel like they are in prison. You feel as though, oh, this week angiphahlanga, my dlozis are gonna be upset with me. Because summoning amadlozi and speaking at an altar, nakhona has its own protocol. I'm not one person that's gonna sit and say to you, Mawphahla, you need to say this or you need to do this. But it is the intention around what you're doing. Why are you lighting the candle? Why ushisimpepo? What is the intention? What are you presenting to your ancestors? Because sometimes you'll find all kinds of alcohol, all kinds of cold drinks, fruits, everything, you name it, including, I don't know, anything that you feel what you want to put there. Amabai, they standing on side to side like the Twin Towers. It's just massive things going on in Samako. And you've been pashing, uyazama ukuphahla. Oh, I'm so sorry, I'll try. Uyazama ukuphahla, but there is nothing happening. There is no response from amandlozi wakho. I won't sit and lie to you and say, umidlozi lizokuphendula, uzobona ngeenyoni zikakela, or what is this? It is the intention behind that. Because I don't want us to fall in the trap or a system. Because that's not how spirituality should be. Sayega is system, uma siyega is religion. Because religion puts you in a system whereby you are living and doing things in a scheduled way, or in a way that is like structured. You must first become a prayer warrior, then uzoba deacon, then you're going to be this. This is not that. Wake up and smell the damn komboti, because it doesn't work like that. You need to be intentional ngezinto ozenzayo. Uyahamba uye emanzini noma uyophahla uye entabeni. What is the intention behind that? Because we need to stop thinking from a place of spiritual poverty. And when I say that, I mean it with caps and apostrophes and everything in between, exclamation marks. Because spiritual poverty means every day when you're praying for money, you're praying for all these things, you're praying for whatnot. You cannot be saying the same things that you've been saying 20 years ago. It shows that there's a problem, because we have made our ancestors to be the masters of all afflictions. Amadlozi will just kill you. Amadlozi will do all these things. For example, I have a bad back, and naturally I have a bad back because of pregnancy. Naturally, I'm big at the bottom, right? And I'm very tiny at the top, right? So when I was carrying my son, my spine shifted a bit. So that has affected me. My mom was like, go see a chiropractor. But baby skati. So if all of these things were afflictions of idlozi, I was going to go to someone and they're going to say, no, because idlozi. What nonsense what crap is that? Because this happened after I had a child. Just need to go see a chiropractor and then because the thing is that we're sitting at home and we always thinking that amadlozi aphethe ibhodle elikhulu eledrifood bapheka ama-arthritis, bapheka ama-pain, bapheka ini. Sometimes you are just sick. Can we just stop this bullshit of also as izangoma telling people that, because people live with these afflictions baze bayongena emathuneni wabo. Our bodies are gonna it's life, because this is a body. We are hamba, we're wearing heels Monday to Sunday. Obviously, you're gonna have that problem of the back. You're a woman, you're gonna have period pains. There are certain things that are affliction of the spirit, and there are certain things that are inclinations of the spirit. But then there are some things that are just afflictions of the body, natural things, alignments that are there. That is why people are so scammed into thinking that there's this higher mighty healing that is going to go on blah 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 in your life. Yes, you will get healed, but I will leave the house today and trip and fall. Yes, because I fell. This is a body we're talking about. So we think from a place of spiritual poverty. That is why we get stuck and, feel as though there's this great thing that's going to happen, or this big bang that's going to happen in our lives. And it's not how it works. Intention is important to have direction in your life, so that you know that uma ngenza into enje, I'm doing this for the point of reference. Because uzohamba uphuza isikhohlela senja noma usiphuza isikhohlela selwane masukhuluma nathi, you're now roaring like a lion. You roaring masima when you think you're talking, all you're hearing is rah, rah, because they told you that if you're going to take that, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, because now everything, we decide to put it on social media. So people go into these traditional chemists looking for all these things and they use them. And you don't understand the intention. Also, what is your intention of doing this? Intention because sometimes you will use all these things that you are using, but if the intention is not good, it will not make sense. What is the intention you are having behind that? You understand that? And keep to that, because it comes back to this thing of energy. Spirit is energy. And into osugu sebenzela ngaphezu kwayo, that is what's gonna come to you. That is what's gonna happen to you. But we are lazy as a people. For example, in terms of what is the intention behind that? And you find that after that ceremony, your life just goes down the drain. Intention. Don't just do things because you were told, or do things. Have intention. If it's something that comes from your heart, or have intentions, because noma ungahlaba inkomo or uhlabe ini. Amadlozi, honestly, sorry, to be honest with you, they're not really bothered. You can use a cow, you can use, I don't know, you can use anything. They don't say, ooh, because everything in all essence, the only thing that is after is learning it inyongo yakhona. So sometimes you might think ukuthi amadlozi ami ngifuna ukwenzela umsebenzi wenkomo, but the intention, inhliziyo yakho, you're not doing it for you, you're not doing it for your ancestors, you're doing it because obatla sitjhaba sowubone, sitjhaba sowufile gore wena uwisela amadlozi akho inkomo. You don't just wake up and say, it's something that comes with you, because remember, inkomo connects nesibaya. And isibaya will automatically connect you to izinto zamakhehla. So sometimes you find ukuthi uwisa leyo nkomo leyo and still nothing happens, because blessings on blessings should be the code of the day. But when such things do not happen, you go back to the drawing board and you see ukuthi inkinga iguphi. Into encane iyabhedisa umsebenzi womuntu. For the day ubeka umqombothi noma umqombothi yahlanganisa, umqombothi uhlanganisa kuyathola ekhanda. Kuyalayita ikhandlela noma ukushisa impepho. Kuyambatha ekhaleni. Uyawuhlanganisa umqombothi wakho abantu abadala. Izinto lezi ezamanje, like as fancy these minute mqombothis, I don't believe in that. I believe in doing into from scratch, because there is a reason nakhona why kunubizwa ukuthi utshwala besintu. Fuze bukuphendule bukuphi impendulo, hayi suka manje. Fuze bukhulume noma bulethe lempendulo sukuyidinga. So if when uzoyenza izinto ezesimanje manje noma uzohamba uyothenga umqombothi la kuthengiswa khona, what's gonna happen to the situation around it? That's why I'm saying intention. It is important. Even today, uwazile ukuthi no ngizohamba ngiyothwasa. What is the intention? Uthwaselani gogo? Already ukuthi uzophila noma usebenze ngabantu, because the conflict iba ukuthi the intention around that iba wrong. Bese mubuya, you try and have a life within your calling. There is no life. Ungakhohliseki. Thwasile ngenile. That is why you even find ukuthi you find people that mhlawumbe thwasila are sometimes in the corporate world. There is always that back and forth. In some cases, because it will be restrictive of you and say, no, you need to do this, or need to go. Awusenasikhathi somsebenzi wethu phela manje. You only see us on weekends. Ubani wena? We see weekend special thina so ubrenda pasi, So isn't this njalo that we need to look at as a people and have intentions? Ngisontile, guys, and I've seen that in all these things, in attaining all these spiritual things, intention is important. Bazokutshela ukuthi you need to pray, you need to do this. But if there is no intention behind it, uzohamba indlela eyi-one, uzithole usendaweni eyi-one for years on end without intention. The people will be known, they've been dedicated to certain churches, but impilo zabo are just good as bland. Intention. Sonke masingathi sikhuphula ama-roof sivula abantu bamba phahla. Everyone is speaking about money. Everyone is speaking about money. And I always say there's nothing wrong around that, but it cannot be the only thing you can say to amadlozi akho when you want to access your ancestors. There are deep issues of life. There are things that you need intervention or wisdom with, especially when it comes to izinto zomsam. You cannot just erect umsam because umsam. What is the intention behind it? Are you gonna be able to take care of lomsam because umsam ufana nomntwana uyawunakekelwa? You hear me? Are you gonna be, what is the intention behind that? Are you doing it because someone told you to do that? Or there is an intention you want to see? Because now we go through all of these things without intention because we've been driven with this thing of being told that you need to do this. Have intention with everything that you are doing, especially when it comes to spiritual things. What is the intention behind it? It typical things like at the time you're feeling jealous, you're feeling this is the one, I want him all to myself, and the intentions around that are as good as irrelevant, because after 5 years there's someone else better you see, and now you're stuck with the soul tie. So there's always need to be intention, because even when you go for cleansings and you're cleansing of spiritual imprints or relationship imprints, whatever the case might be, are you strong enough to not go back to your ex? because you cannot cleanse and then fall into the trap. You need to be determined and know. So uzothola ukuthi ubuphahla ubushisa impepho like ikhandlela, but you were not knowing, mhlampe having the correct intentions, or having any intentions. You were doing it because you were told ukuthi no, you need to do this. Because if you have intention behind something, isisindo sakhona siyahluka, nenkulumo yakhona ikhulumeka ngenye indlela ngokwedlozi, akusese nje into umuyenza. You understand? Because I always say kuhle ukwazi ukuthi mangishisa ikhandlela ngilishiselani. It will avoid this thing of feeling ukuthi we're living a life of rotation, whereby 12 and 3, 12 and 3, 12 and 3. You just know that, man, there's not much, I can't just summon my ancestors. Apologies. You cannot just summon your ancestors because you're told ukuthi Melubambu 12, Melubambu 3. Sometimes your spirit is not in a good space. Sometimes you're having a busy week. And it's not that Amadlos are going to persecute you or do something to you. But if we have intention, it gives sense to why we're doing certain things. If there's intention, you ask, this whole week I'm going to dedicate it to uphahla and fasting, because this is what I'm working towards. And this is what I'm praying towards, because now if it feels like a rotation and a drag, uzogcina sometimes sekubuhlungu ukuvuka sovela uthi hayi bogogo seniyazi ukuthi ngifila kanjani bese uyalala, and it becomes now ngathi usejele. You understand what I'm saying? So let us stop this spiritual poverty mentality esenza ukuthi sibone ngathi amadlozi ethu ahlezi alambile, amadlozi ethu ahlezi awomile, because I trust me, izinto zasemhlabeni does not impress idlozi. You can have umsamo ogcwele yonke into but have no response from idlozi, but ube nomsamo onekhandlela nempepho nesinefu, umsamo lo ukuphilele. The difference between these two people is the intention behind that, because your gogo doesn't come in the middle of the night and say, hey, khona lapho namhlanje awuvula ihansi, awuvula isavana le, awuvula iwine, ngikhalile iwine, sabawela iwine. They don't do that. But asingabheki amadlozi njengezithixo. Angazi mhlambe ngikhuluma into evakalayo. Amadlozi yingelosi zethu, they are guardians. And if we could understand the parts, or rather the roles they play in our lives, we would definitely see things differently. We would look at things twice and be like, intention behind this. What is the intention? Oh, really, should I do this because of what? You understand that? Someone is saying to you that ugogo says get ibhayi eli-ready nelabha elimhlophe, and you go home uyazibeka leso zinto because there is no intention. Or sometimes you use these things but you don't even know now ukuthi uziuzelani. It's important that you have a gift or whatever the case might be, idlozi elikuphethe, even if you have just their name or igama nesibongo, uwazithuna. If you can't find a relevant grave, uthole indlela la uzoxhumana khona nedlozi lakho, because it is not every time, because kunokuphahla komuntu okunengulo yedlozi bese kunokuphahla okugeneral kwasemsamo, because ukuphahla kwakho okunedlozi is an intimate conversation you are having with the one that guides you spiritually. You understand that? Then we forget that they are representatives of our ancestors within our family tree. You understand? So every time you find that umuphahla, you're summoning all the dlozis, and the representative get the message, and it does not directly, becomes translated, because they say, but look at this one wants this, but they start stating your case, So now as izinto we need to unteach so people can be taught better. Yes, so they can be taught better, instead of just this thing of just telling people that do this, do that. Oh, namadlozi, kamela ilap eliso, kamela this, all of these things, because I honestly don't know if we're thinking that ilabileli ebsugu it connects us, or we have made amadlozi wethu, these things bazothi inte kanje idonsa idlozi. Imagine bathi itawo lidonsa idlozi, your dlozis are there, but look what abanye bayabuza, niyaphi sidonsa itawo, niyaphi sidonsa itawo. It like I don't know, my thinking sometimes, the way I look at things, and I laugh sometimes at how maybe idlozi will reiterate izinto ukuthi idlozi, we need to understand ukuthi this is ancient of blood being carried down and DNA, guys. And amakhosi labantu laba. Mawuzobheka into bathi donsa idlozi. Lokhu busy. Usola kwayibeka into amadlozi akha idonseka. Bani wathi, fonela ulakhi lapho. Azi. Umfonelile umntana kaLidia. Izani, balokhu bayadonseka bonke. Bazodonseka intention. Let us be intentional about things we are doing. Now, whereas you're gonna go to the grave, if you are watching this video and you know that you're feeling like uneskwelide sokuye graveyard, have intention. Why uye tunen lapho? Why we are lapho, and if you're varasha and have intention around that, why are you praying at this time? What's the intention behind that? Because whether we like it or not, spiritual portals are open, every single hour of the day. And sometimes gunezinto that we are attracting into our spaces unaware, and if there is no intention behind certain things, you get lost gule program a spirit, because remember, a spirit, it's not black and white. There is vast colors. Excuse me. There is vast colors. So we just need to know the direction we are taking as a people. If anomuntu ophuzayo, what's the intention? Ngifuna ukudaka ngilahle mina, or ngifuna ukudaka ngiyolala, or ngifuna ukudaka ngimfonele ngimnyele, so think, have intention. Uzobona nawe ukuthi if I have intention ngenza into, then izoyenzeka. If ngithenga iswasho, this is the intention I have, ukuthi mangeza ngale swasho, this is what's going to happen, and you stick to that. If ngithandazela into ethize in my life or certain area of my life, this is what I'm going to be praying towards, instead of avoiding everything to feel like a program or a certain alarm. Because once you feel you have to set an alarm to your spiritual life, you must know that there's something wrong. I'm so against that. Once you feel good, I have to set an alarm, because if you are spiritually inclined, 20 to 3 uyavuka, noma 20 past 3 uma ulate uyavuka, noma 20 to 4, but something is gonna wake you up. In most cases, I'll lali before 12. So it gets to that point that there's always something spiritually that is going to be heightening your senses. So let us listen more than do more, because sometimes senza kakhulu and we lose the listening part. And amadlozi nigeni ukathatha njenge telenovela, as though every day they like, yazi wena namhlanje ugeze ngiswasha, yazi wena namhlanje ugeze ngiqanda. No, can made guys nizofa stress lokho ni business phathisa ikhanda ukuthi idlozi ikelana abantu abadala babe idlozi, because thina siba program ngathi abo bishop abahlele emasontweni njalo every Sunday they're serving a sermon. You're not the only person egini, and you're not the only one spiritually. And for the gateway amadlozi akho to connect to you, it is not just a ngisaya buya. No. There's a lot of things to go through. Sometimes they want to connect to you and awuko uskepiwe. What's going to happen? So that's how I'm saying that let us be intentional and stop viewing spirituality as a job, normal in 9 to 5. I understand that. And we avoid feeling as though we're being left behind, or madlozi kabani are better than who, or we want to attain this highest level of what. If you stick in your own bloodline and your own bloodline's lane, you will stop ukuthi uthalaze ubheke emaqeleni, and then stop making your ancestors feel as though you asazi inkinga zasegini how back they date towards asina inkinga ezifanayo. So that is why ngithi move at your own pace, yenza into ngoba umoya wakho usukuvumelana nayo, and the intentions behind it. That's the important part. So I hope this was another informative video, and you will definitely rethink your spiritual course, and you will reevaluate ukuthi, am I really doing things for the right reasons, or I just feel pressured, or I'm doing things because ngifuna ukuthi ngibe ngcono, or what the case might be. Go back to the drawing board and sometimes write a letter to yourself or your ancestors and be honest. This is what is happening. This is what I want. Be intentional. That's what I'm saying. So use the energies, the vibrations that are going on currently. Everything is a scramble. Thola umuntu aposta my stars are aligned. Aligned kuphi? Ungekho ngana intention, ungana next, uhleli ubukela umvango, ubukela azindini. Come on now. Let's stop being like that. Sekele ukwenza abantu ba feel as though they are lesser, or other people's ancestors are better than. We are different. We're walking our own different paths. So ngena emakhofini wethu at a different time, at a different day. So let us just stop this thing of just But thank you so much for coming through, and thank you so much for watching this video. I'll definitely see you around these YouTube streets. So don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Mphobadimu, and also do the same on Facebook, and also stay tuned to more content here on my YouTube channel. Like this video, subscribe if you still haven't, and do leave your comments down below. Thank you so much for the feedback. I am Mphobadimu, the advocate of Idlozi, and this is once again an Oh My Idlozi video, and I will definitely see you later. Adios, Thokozani.